Morning. Just to let everybody know who hadn't been over here, the area that's barricaded off back there, we're doing some x-raying. Don't do a whole lot of it around here, but it's real prevalent in the industry. We've got it roped off to the requirements. We've got the right amount of area away from where the source will be used to do the job. So just be aware of that. Don't cut through there. You don't know what they're doing. Go around. We got cones on the outside. Make sure you keep a good wide berth. Material handling. Had a lot of trucks come in this week, and it looks like we did a good job. Keep that work up, fellas. I think we got quite a few more coming in, but it's important when we offload the truck wherever it is, and it can be anywhere on this facility, that we've got the proper barricades out. We've got enough people there to do what we need to do. When you have to cut close to the process, you need to make eye contact with somebody before you just cut through some cones or try to cut close to what's going on. You may in fact think you understand what's going on, but you may not. So let's just continue to do that. Good job on the material handling. As everybody can see back there by the old winch shop, the level of activity is picking up a little bit. And in the coming weeks, it'll pick up more and more. So there'll be some Versatech guys working over there. There's some panels to be installed. There's some tubing to be run. I'm sure there's some wiring to be run. So watch that corner, because now we're going to have personnel walking across there again, probably quite frequently. So get in the habit of slowing down when you're coming around that corner from the other side of the yard, and slowing down when you're coming this way. Keep an eye on one another out there. Addressing hazards on the yard, fellas. I saw a couple of containers around the mechanic shop on the yard with some products in them that I'm not really sure what they are. In the mechanic shop specifically, fellas, try and at least write on the container what's in there. I know we're not dealing with any acids or caustics or anything like that, but it's real important that we understand what's in the container. The standard says, once again, that if I'm going to use something for my purposes and I'm going to put it in a temporary container, I don't have to mark it, because I'm filling up that container and then I'm going to pour it out somewhere else. But if I'm going to leave a quantity of it in that container, others need to know what's in there. So let's make sure that we label. Let's make sure if you don't have any labels, if you don't have any way to identify it, get somebody from the HSE department. We do have some labels, we have some markers, and we can take care of it. Good job once again. We had a couple of little things that I'll call a first aid this week. By and large, we're doing a great job, fellas. Houston's kind of running in line with us right now. They had a little bit of a crusty beginning to the year, but if we can continue like this, our TRIR is going to be probably lower than we've seen in years. And that's you. That's what you guys do day by day, minute by minute out there. So continue doing it, because we know now it's working for us. Communicate with one another. Plan what you're getting ready to do. Clean up your work area if that needs to be addressed. Clean it up when you're done. Put everything back where it belongs. All of these things that all year long we go over in here, and we go over in our morning meetings divisionally. Do them, and then we don't get in bad shape, and we don't have to spend a lot of time dealing with it. So keep up the good work, fellas. Had some bad weather come on us kind of quickly yesterday. Booming down cranes is something that we need to try and get ahead of. I know a lot of times our crane operators are doing other things, but Tim called me yesterday, and I happened to be in the training room, so I didn't have a window available. I didn't realize what the weather was doing. Let's be proactive with booming the cranes down when the weather looks like it's going to get nasty, because there was lightning popping everywhere yesterday. So what y'all got, fellas? It ain't just the cranes. We need to get ourselves out of the weather when it starts popping like that. And again, yesterday it was all around us. Whatever we were doing can wait. Who else?
Well, uploaded the truck yesterday with rain cab, a couple of things that had everything going on. When it was coming around, the ag people passed and all, they realized that's not something we do every day. Because we're looking out, seeing that we're doing something we don't do every day.
Do you know if we're done with the cranes?
No, not yet.
Not yet. It was a total of 17 trucks, I believe, for the 2 cranes that we purchased. So we've got 2 more cranes coming onto the yard that'll be rebuilt. I believe one of them is slotted to go to Houston. So just be aware of that. We keep talking about new properties, and at some point or another we'll free up some space in this yard, fellas, but it's still pretty jammed up right now. Everybody knows the areas of concern. Tower's finished. We're going to be loading out next week. We were cutting up scrap back here by this section of the yard, which is an area where sometimes there's just not a whole lot of anything going on. Always make sure that we understand back there by the sling racks and by the grease pit what's going on before we head back there. Same thing with the test machines. The dynamic change is just too quickly to think you can run from one end of the yard to the other and it's the same way it was when you left. So just be aware of that. Who else? Tower guys. Where's the tower guys? Tower guys will be leaving next week. Looking at about a scope of work of about 50 days. So Tower will go out there and make some money for us again this summer. Had a little meeting with him yesterday. I think we got the right guys for the job. I think everybody's got their head in the game, so it should go off as it has every year, and this is the 4th year without a hitch. So continue to watch one another, fellas. We know what we need to do, but if we don't do it, it's on us. Anybody else? Right. Well, typically, I've got a friend in Longview, Texas. Her house burned to the ground 3 weeks ago. She lost everything she had, and that's typically the case with a house fire. So here's a bunch of kids that have nothing. So if you got $1 in your pocket, man, if you got something, let's. You gonna pick up the money, Steve? Let's try and help some people out, man. We've always been good about that. Anybody else? Means a lot to somebody and make you feel good. Start your day right. Anybody else?
Hey Brad, what's the next one on the X-ray going on back?
I started with that.
Okay.
Don't forget, when they've got the source out, when the radiation is live in there, the guys that are working in there for Global won't even be by it. That's the time it's most critical. Right now, he's not doing anything other than looking at some welds. He's writing down some welds. So just be aware of that. Everybody that's in the shop understands if you got to bring something to the shop, the back end of the shop is off limits. So get with someone.
It's going to continue on Monday also. Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday of next week.
This is customer required work. We normally do the process some other way, but we'll get through it and we'll be finished next week. Just don't forget when you come over here. Anybody else? Y'all have a good day, fellas.
Sweet.